Hi gardeners, my name's Vicki and this is Jancy. And we're coming at you today to talk about some gardening budget ideas, things that are not going to cost us a lot. So let's get right into it. Seed starting. So we want to start off planting our own seeds. That's perfect. That's probably the most budget friendly. You're not going to be paying a lot for already established plants. You can start your seeds. I started mine in solo cups. These worked perfect. I cut some halfway down. So I only filled them with halfway amount of dirt. They worked out just fine. My plants did really well. These are one of my favorite, especially to start herbs. Anything that's not going to grow too tall as far as being established. Prior to planting them. These work out really great. I love them. Strawberry containers, blueberry, the large containers, half this size, bigger than this. These are going to work out perfect. Any kind of old trays that you have lying around, I save these. I do buy flowers sometimes to plant out front of my house, and I'll save the trays and use them next year or later in the year for any kind of seeds that I want to start. If you head to your local dollar store, Dollar Tree, whatever, they'll have smaller pots. They do even have seed trays sometimes. I like to use these, but for these, I would definitely plant more in them and then separate and pot them later as they grew before they needed to be planted in the garden. Seeds, where can we get our seeds? I get a lot of my seeds from the dollar store, as well as I want to say Walmart. Probably haven't purchased seeds from anywhere else. There are seed companies. You have your home improvement stores that also have many seeds at your disposal. They're either going to be 3 for $1.50, or they're going to be 4 packets of seeds for, obviously I used this one already, 4 packets of seeds for $1.25. I use these seeds. They did grow wonderfully. They do not come with a large amount in them. But 4 packets of these for $1.25 is going to be more than I need. So I stick with the dollar store seeds and the Walmart seeds and just get deals whenever I can on them. If you're filling a garden bed and you are just starting with a new garden bed, you want to layer it with cardboard, or you may not, depending on where you're putting your bed. Personally, I layered one of my garden beds with cardboard and I did not do the other, and I do have a little bit of regret about it. I do get these lily pad looking things that have long roots that do burst through my garden all the time that I have to pull. Not that big of a deal, but I do wish I put some cardboard down. In regards to cardboard, Amazon boxes, if you have a membership to Sam's or BJ's or Costco, they separate their items on the pallets with long sheets of blank cardboard. These are absolutely perfect to use in raised beds. That's where I got mine. In addition to Amazon boxes I had lying around, make sure you're taking any of the tape off. You don't want to really use any boxes that have ink on them, such as like diaper boxes or snack boxes, things that have a lot of print on them. You just want to dispose of those. But anything that's an actual brown box with not a lot of detail on it would be great to use for your bed. When you want to build up another layer, if you do not have trees or a lot of sticks around you, walk around your neighborhood during yard cleanup and people are filling up the big brown bags of their yard cleanup. Ask them if you can have it. Take it home with you. Just store it in your yard so that when you want to start your bed, you can just pour all their debris right in there. You don't need to go out and purchase large logs to be able to put in the bottom of your garden bed. You can find things around your yard. Go out for a walk, grab some sticks on every walk. You will eventually have enough to fill up the bottom of a garden bed, and you're getting some exercise. You're going to need soil and compost to fill in any garden pot or bed, possibly just bags of soil if you're doing some pots or grow bags. There are sales, especially at the local home improvement stores. They're going to have bag soils on sale. Personally, I've researched and contacted landscapers in my area to see their cost on soil and compost. I did find one local to me. However, the delivery for their product was $80 and I wasn't willing to pay that. So I bit the bullet. My husband and I went out and we filled up the bed of his truck with a yard of dirt and a yard of compost. Wouldn't recommend that until you check what your truck can carry if you have one. And we came home and we shoveled it into a wheelbarrow and we came and dumped it into my raised beds, and that's what worked for us. The compost for a yard where I'm currently at was $50 for a yard of compost. It was $45 for a yard of garden soil. That was the most cost effective for me to fill 2 raised beds. There's a lot of ideas out there as far as making a raised bed or purchasing a raised bed, and I've seen some really interesting innovative ideas coming out there. I think even now Home Depot and Lowe's are offering the do-it-yourself with the cinder block, and you buy the strips of wood depending on how large or small you would want your garden, would be your preference as to the length of the wood that you choose. I chose 2 8x4 galvanized raised beds, and that's what worked for me. The first one I got on sale, the second one I asked Santa for, and he came through. If you are looking to purchase galvanized raised beds from Amazon, also look and see what comes with the beds, because some of the beds actually have things that come with them. My raised bed that I received from Santa came with 2 grow bags, so I didn't have to purchase those, and that made them really worth it. At the time that I purchased mine, it was my raised bed, it was $35.99. Just looking recently, it is $46.99 now. If you are looking to purchase a raised bed, I would say watch for the sales. There are YouTubers out there that will post about sales as far as what's on Amazon. And then if you are signed up for any kind of Amazon alerts to let you know when things go on sale, or if you just keep it in your save for later, you can watch the price to see if it changes. That's also a way to get a good sale. I believe this week Aldi is going to have a rounded raised bed for $20, which, I mean, that's also great. That's also a great price. So if you are near an Aldi, I would recommend it. I do get quite a few gardening things from Aldi. They really have a lot of good gardening stuff for a cheap price. As far as starting seeds in the ways of trays and heat mats and grow lamps, I don't do that. I'm located in South Carolina, Zone 8B. I decided to start a garden and I moved to this climate. I didn't feel like I really needed to have my seed starts inside because it's so nice here. But there is the winds and the rains and things like that to be considered. I did purchase, though, a 2-pack of these greenhouses from Lidl, however you like to say it. They were on sale last year. When I purchased them, I had no idea what I was going to do with them, but I did think that I wanted them. When I started my seeds, because the climate here is so nice and it tends not to freeze for a long period of time, I actually started my seeds outdoors. And when the weather was calling for a freeze, I took a large clear tote and I flipped the tote over so the lid is on the ground. I put my seed starts on the lid and I flipped the Tupperware over to the top of it. And when the freeze was over, woke up the next morning, it's a bright and sunny day, took the lid right off the tote, let the plants have the sun, but none of them got any damage from frost or anything like that. I felt it saved me a lot of space as far as trying to have them indoors. I didn't purchase items that I didn't really need. I was able just to use the sun and the outdoors for my plants. I didn't have to harden off my plants either, and that's when you grow them inside and you take them outside to be acclimated with the winds and the suns and the rains and everything like that, so that they are ready to be planted in the ground. I didn't do any of that because my seeds were already outdoors and they did just fine on their own once they went into the ground. Watering your garden. Make sure when you start a garden, you're close to a watering source. Make sure that your hose can reach and you're not going to be dragging a hose at different hours of the day to be able to water your garden, number one. Number two, check your garden before you water it. Come out and check your garden. Drop your finger into your garden about 2 inches. See if you feel any moisture. If you do, don't water it. If you don't, water it. So with all that said, I am not an established gardener. I am not a homesteader. I'm not a farmer. I decided to start a garden last year because it interested me. And if that sounds like you, I hope these ideas help you in starting your garden. I didn't have a lot of money to spend on the garden. I just wanted to do it as something fun, and it did turn out to be something that I really enjoy. So those are our tips for today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll be back later with more content. Say bye, Jance.